This is the GoTrax Ranger 16, and it's the most compact and affordable moped-style e-bike we've tested. For $500, you get a light, comfortable, and solidly built e-bike. I think this thing is awesome for the money, but you don't have to take my word for it, because we're gonna hands-on test everything so you can decide for yourself. We'll do acceleration, braking, handling, hill climbing, and real-world range. And we even do weight, lux meter, decibel meter, and thermal camera. This is Rider Guide, and it's time to find out if this is the right e-bike for you. Let's ride.
Really quick for unboxing, the camera overheated, but all you really need to know is it only took 18 minutes and 49 seconds, and the box comes with everything you need, and it was a super simple process and nothing came broken.
Now back to the Ranger 16. The price is $800, but $549 on sale. Weight is 56.9 pounds. Battery is 280.8 watt hours. 350 watt rear hub motor. 20 mile per hour top speed. Chunky 16 by 3 inch tires. A compact stance. Built-in headlight and brake light, dual mechanical disc brakes, LED display, long plush seats, pedal cleats for grip, and a 30-day return policy. So if you don't like the package as much as I do, you can return it. That's enough of me talking, let's listen. Ride feel in. Immediately this feels very comfortable and controlled, especially for a smaller bike. Yeah, this feels comfortable in a way that a lot of smaller e-bikes don't, which if you're a smaller rider, this might actually feel like the perfect bike for you because it's comfortable and it feels very ice cream. It feels very ice cream and it feels very controlled, well built, smooth. The 16 by 3 inch tires help a lot more than you'd think. They absorb the impact, and thanks to the big knobs, does not feel bad on this gravel. I'm wobbling quite a bit and not feeling skittish. Don't do that at home though. Thank you, sir. So yeah, even though there's no suspension, the tires really do make up for that. The power feels very smooth and controlled here. No ripping you off the line, no trying to make you do a wheelie when you've never done one before. Very approachable, but also strong. Not feeling like I'm falling asleep waiting for this thing to start up. Bump. Yeah, the seat actually helps there with the cushioning too. Okay, made it into the city. Yeah, you're not gonna be buying this thing for the spec sheet. You're gonna be getting it because it doesn't break the bank. But yeah, let's get into the performance. All right, speed test. This is pedal assist 1. We're gonna be doing 3 of these tests for each of the pedal assists, and we're gonna put all of the draggy GPS data up on screen. This is pedal assist 2. Oh yeah, that's feeling like twice as much help right there. Very smooth. This is pedal assist 3. Yeah, very reliable. Feels very clean, controlled. Okay, now for braking, we're gonna be stopping at this line at 15 miles per hour and then 20 feet from there. I'm a little nervous about this because these tires are a little smaller. Okay, let's go. Ooh. Something to be aware of is weight really adds a lot to your stopping distance pretty fast, so keep that in mind. Hopefully you can see that. Blue is above average. Very impressed by the bike. Definitely was because it's a lighter bike. And these are big knobby 16 by 3 tires, so definitely a lot more bite than I was expecting out of this. Okay, we're at 10% battery. Let's make sure this thing can get up to speed. Even at lower percentage. We're good. Now for the hill test, let's just do all throttle. No help. We'll do a more realistic test, which is, acceleration, because very few people are going to be dead starting on this steep of a hill. Yeah, even with acceleration, I don't think this thing is going to quite make it up it. Yeah, but keep in mind, there are $2,000 e-bikes with bigger motors and batteries that struggle with this hill, so. All right, what's up guys? We're filming a little later in the day because it was raining all morning. But now it's time for the full set of tests that you've never probably seen anybody do. I've got a couple of goodies to show you. Whoa, it's doing face auto detect. I did not know I had to set up to do that. So first up is this lux meter to make sure that the front headlight is bright enough. Next up, we've got the decibel meter. This is to make sure that the motor isn't too loud and that the front horn is loud enough. So we've got a scale. This is because a lot of people like to be a little optimistic about their weight claims, and and I'll have to be honest about my weight claims showing you this because there's not really a way for us to balance this bike on it. Last but not least, and actually probably my favorite, we have this right here. This is going to give us a heat map, letting us know if there's any weird heat buildup in the battery or if the light gets too hot, just anything bad in the electronics. Let's get into it. So for the bell, it looks like we peaked at 80.4 decibels, which is good, but the minimum was around 43, which isn't ideal. We would want this to be sustained above 80 decibels for a period of time. That way you get everyone's attention. So I would definitely recommend getting a $5 Amazon bell, but this is about what I would expect to see from this price point. And then for motor noise, like we're getting 72 decibels, which is perfectly reasonable and actually sounds quite pleasant over here. Looks like I'm coming in at 191 pounds. Man, weight really does fluctuate. I feel like I'm up 2 pounds one week, up, down 2 pounds the next. And then holding the bike, let's wait for it, 248. So I'll put the exact difference up on screen. Okay, now for the lux test. So it looks like at around 20 feet away, we're getting 497 lux. This is definitely what you'd expect, just if you're in a well-lit room, this is what it'll feel like. And I've had this thing out and about, you're gonna be able to see where you're going, and there's really good articulation. So you will be able to see exactly what you wanna see while you're driving. All right, now I'm gonna ride this thing for half a mile. And back. Okay, so let's see if there's any weird heat buildup. Okay, so I take this down a hill, so that's why this disc brake is pretty hot right here. It's probably the hottest we'll see on this. This is actually quite hot to the touch. We're mostly concerned with the battery. Is the battery just generating a ridiculous amount of heat here? Is it gonna explode? No. Looks like the rear section of the bike's at around 38, so that's safe to the touch. Sometimes there's a wire going from the motor to the controller, but yeah, this wire here, we're concerned if this is heating up too much. Yeah, this isn't too hot at all. Yeah, but this looks amazing. Definitely really happy with the wiring and everything here. All right, now for the range test. We're gonna be doing a lot of real world driving here. That means some stop and go, mostly throttle, some light pedaling. But yeah, let's see how this thing does. Okay, coming into the end of the range test here, we've got about 10% battery left. Definitely can feel the power on this thing dripping away. Looks like we're at around 13 kilometers. That's definitely below what this is projecting, but keep in mind I did drive this to the range testing area, so we did miss some mileage there. This thing is letting me know I'm dying. Don't worry, I'm dying too. And dead. I probably did about 8 kilometers or so before the testing, just on the way to the test site and messing around with some B-roll footage. So we'll get a realistic range test up to you on screen. Keep in mind, most commutes are below this, so all right. I'm too tired to know what's next. Whatever's next.
So why should you buy the Ranger 16? Well, it's doing something a lot of e-bikes don't do, which it makes a cheap e-bike look cool. The Lite focuses on practicality, the full-size Ranger focuses on power and range, the Mustang focuses on off-roading, and the Ranger 16 is simplicity, style, and price. And that's the real story. Not the biggest battery, not the biggest power, and not the biggest payload. The Ranger is about getting a sick-looking mini e-bike for electric scooter money. And that's honestly what I'm impressed about. It looks like it's worth a lot more than $549. It's easy to ride, it's approachable, it's fun, and for the right rider, that's enough. The Ranger 16 is a winner for value, smaller riders, and neighborhood riding. The final verdict, the Ranger 16 is one of those bikes that makes a lot of sense once you stop pretending it's something it's not. It's not a range king, it's not a hill-crushing monster, but it's small, simple, and solid, and it looks cool. And at $549 on sale, it's a great deal. If you're a lighter rider or a college student on a budget, the Ranger 16 is really worth taking a look at. But if you're a larger adult looking for a daily commuter, I'd look at the 20-inch Ranger or the GoTrax Mustang. If you want to grab one, I'll leave a link in our description, plus our special discount code. And just in case you're watching on TV, I'll put a QR code up on screen. For the full acceleration, braking, and range data, check out riderguide.com. Plus, we've also got a lot of great photos and more content on there than you can imagine. Ride safe, wear your gear, and I'll catch you in the next one. Just for full transparency, I was sent this bike for free, and the link in the description does give us some commission, but it's at no extra cost to you, and it's just to support our channel. Thank you for supporting our independent testing and reviews.